everyone, welcome back to Aimee's Making a Mess in the Kitchen, also known as Wednesday's Cooking. Today's recipe is a brand new recipe from the Taste Buds. I know I've talked about Taste Buds before. In fact, hold please. I've got the Christmas box, which I have talked about in length for those of you who follow me on my VIP page. This amazing Christmas box with the cutesy little spatula, all the seasonings included. This is a box that's only worth more than $39, but it's only $39. And the reason I love it so much is look at it, it's already decorated for you. It even has a tuna from with it. Yeah, I think it's so adorable. And for $39, like what a great gift. So, Taste Buds, that is a Taste Buds once, not a subscription, but the Taste Buds monthly subscription is where it's at, in my opinion. And it's what we're going to do today. So this is this month's Taste Buds. So you are going to get a taste of something delicious. And for those of you who are not following me on my VIP page, jump on over onto the VIP page afterwards, and you will score this recipe, and you're not even a Taste Buds subscriber. Like, how amazing is that? So we are making butternut squash risotto. Yeah, mind-blowing. Yeah, I'm already hungry for it. I have my friend Karen here from Calgary. Oftentimes you'll see Karen popping on to the live. There's Karen. So oftentimes you'll see Karen commenting. She is actually the reason I have loved Pampered Chef and sell Pampered Chef. Is 20-something years ago, Karen and I befriended each other when we lived in Timmins. In fact, she was the last human that held Kiera before we moved out of Timmins. And she had Pampered Chef, and my love for Pampered Chef is, well, here we are. So Karen is here visiting her family, and I get to be part of that family where she's here with me for 3 days, and we're excited to have this recipe, so we're having this for lunch. So it starts off with a butternut squash that has just been cut up. So you will see here that I have pre-chopped it up, and I used my fabulous knife that I absolutely talk about it all the time. This is the 5-inch Santuco knife. Love it because it's lifetime guarantee. It can be sharpened, dishwasher safe, and what I love about our knives is that the blade goes all the way to the end, so it doesn't even cut. And again, lifetime guarantee. If anything happens, you get a nick out of it, the tip breaks. I mean, these are things that normally don't happen to our knives, but anything can happen. I will get it returned and get you a brand new knife. So I've used my flexible cutting mat, and I cut up all the skin to the butternut squash, and it is in the oven as we speak, and I will bring it out. Now it's got a tablespoon of olive oil and one of the packets, because all of our Taste Buds come with the packets of seasoning. You just need to add a little bit of goodness. All the Taste Buds come with the recipes, cards, and the seasonings. So this is the thyme and onion. So I've got a tablespoon of olive oil and a tablespoon of the thyme and onion, and I just mix that on, and I threw it into my oven on a 450-degree oven on our stainless steel cookie sheet, and that's in the oven right now. So while that's happening, over here on the pot there, you can see we've got some goodness happening here. So this is 4 cups of water with a chicken broth. So chicken broth, 4 cups of it. Now I've used today a little bit of chicken broth, and then I've topped it up with the vegetable broth from Epicure. Those of you who know me and know me well know that Epicure and Pampered Chef have babies often. And I love the fact that, I could have done a full-on veggie, but I had a little bit of chicken left, broth, that I wanted to get rid of it, and the last of my very empty, you can see now, veggie broth. I love this broth. In fact, my oldest daughter is vegan, and she loves the miso, she loves the veggie broth, and is actually always sending me requests for her stocking at this time of year of what needs to be filled up. That is one of them that she needs to fill up. Okay, so we have the butternut squash in the oven working. We've got the broth right now. They asked us to bring it to a boil and then just to keep it warm. So that's what's happening here. And then I've got one of our pans. So this is the 10-inch skillet. The stainless steel non-stick. And that is amazing because I'm gonna, hopefully there, you can see these little divots in there, giving it that stainless steel feel with the non-stick and not the shitty, crappy, coating that could make you sick. None of that is here. It's just a beautiful thing. And you can use metal in here. So if you do want to whisk something together, you can use your metal whisk or your stainless steel or silicone. It doesn't matter because of that. So here we've got the broth going. We're going to heat some oil and some butter. And we're going to add the onion, garlic, rice, and some of the rub. Okay, so I need a tablespoon of the extra virgin olive oil happening here, which I'm just going to pour in the pan. Okay, and I just use the Pampered Chef. It says PC. I think I own everything that says PC. I use the President's Choice extra virgin olive oil. I like it. I find it's a heavy oil, extra virgin olive oil. But theirs is a beautiful flavor and not too heavy, so I really enjoy theirs. I am going to add, how much butter? Another tablespoon of butter. So I am going to use my mini measure-all cup. You guys know how much I love these suckers because I do not like to get my hands dirty unless I'm kneading bread, which I will talk about in a minute. So I'm just going to push the thing down to the 1 tablespoon. Of course, the red, as I've talked about before, does the sticky stuff. The blue side would measure the liquid. So I'm just pushing that down. I'm going to open my butter. And I'm going to add a tablespoon of butter to the tablespoon of extra virgin, the EVOO. And then I'm just going to add a tablespoon of the seasoning and 3 cloves of garlic. So this is going to be a delicious, high flavored risotto. I love risotto, and especially this time of year. I don't know where you are all in the world right now, but here in Toronto today, we have a beautiful sunny day. It is the perfect fall. It's got, the leaves are there, the temperature is gorgeous, but it still has a little crisp in the air, and as it should, it is the fall. But this is the kind of weather, I love because I like these nice, beautiful, hearty dishes for the fall. So I've got the tablespoon of butter with the olive oil. I'm going to add a tablespoon of the thyme and onion, which is exactly what's on the squash as well. Never made risotto, but oh, Barb, you're going to love this recipe. Barb is part of my VIP page already. So Barb is already going to score this recipe. And because anybody who follows me on the VIP page is going to score this recipe. I love risotto. To me, it's like the alternative to a delicious pasta. And again, taste buds. I get all these great seasonings in there. Now, look at the size of this garlic. These big garlics are called elephant garlic. And you all know that I do never have to, how about that for English? I do never have to peel my garlic, but this garlic head is so big. I have a heck of a time putting it in my garlic press because it's so big. But as you know, I don't have to peel even the little bit of it. The peeling just pops right out. So I'm just gonna press along there. I'm telling you, this is a chunker garlic and it smells divine. So it's got, there we go. Again, just pop right out. This is an Ontario garlic. I got it fresh from the farm when I got my pumpkins. And it's huge. Absolutely. It's like 2 cloves in one. And again, oh, for God's sake. Hold, please. I love mine. Just open the screen door. There we go. Oh, I love live events. Okay, so I've got the garlic in there. I'm going to do a couple more cloves of garlic. And yeah, guys, this is live TV. You know how you know it's live? Yeah, Amy's fire alarm goes off. Okay, let me just get a couple more cloves of garlic in there. And then I'm going to add the rice. Oh my gosh. This garlic is really giving me grief today. one might be bad. Hang on. Could be that garlic. This one isn't the same garlic. This is like grocery store garlic. Should have gone back to the market. Okay, now we've got enough garlic in there. All right, so we've got the oil, the butter, and the garlic, and I'm gonna add the onion. Now, I'm gonna use my manual food processors because it says finely chopped up onion. So I'm just gonna peel my onion, again, using the same Santoku knife. Why dirty more things if we don't have to? I've already got that dirty, already good to go. And I'm just gonna cut the onion in half. And I'm gonna toss it right into the manual food processor and chop away. And then I'm gonna add it to this with the rice. Now this is gonna be a little bit extra moisture for it. You all know how much I love my manual food processor as well. Look at that, fast, easy, whole onion, chopped up, good to go. And we got that onion tossed in there. You can hear that delicious sizzle. I wish you guys had smell vision because it smells divine in here. Absolutely amazing. Okay. All right, we got the onion, the butter, the seasoning, and I'm going to add the rice. Now I need 1 cup of uncooked. And we're gonna cook this uncovered for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we're gonna add the wine to it. Yeah. So this recipe, most really good risotto recipes calls for a very dry wine. And I've got a couple options that I'm gonna show you. If you wanted to omit the wine, I would suggest using you could use a sparkling cider that would give it the dryness, or you could also use just some extra broth. So you could use an extra veggie or chicken broth, whatever you like. So we've got that going on there. We want the avocado just to kind of, any of the risottos, when you do make a risotto, you want to add the rice to a dry pan and kind of start the process of warming the rice and cooking the rice. And I, again, am just using the Pampered Chef, see, I said it again, PC, President's Choice Avocado. I find it works really well. It's really nice rice. I use it in soups as well. It's really great. And I use it for my rice balls. Okay, so we're gonna use that. And now we're going to add the wine and stir until it's all absorbed. Now, I am part of a winery, Foreign Affair. So I am using this Sauvignon Blanc that I've got. So it's a nice dry wine as well. An opportunity for me to show you all the wine bottle opener. Now it comes in 2 pieces. This is the stand, but on the bottom of it as well is the cutter. This makes an amazing holiday gift. The cutter just takes the top off, just an FYI. An amazing holiday gift for any of those wine lovers in your life, whether it be your in-laws, your parents, your girlfriends, your besties. The cap is there. You just push it the other direction, and now the wine cork comes out. This is charged, so it's cordless. It charges, has a charger. How about that? How about English, Aimee? It has a charger. You plug it in and keeps charged. It charges for 90 bottles of wine. Yeah, one charge, 90 bottles of wine. It's one of those staple things at my house. I mean, listen, there are some wines without a, that are twist top that are really nice as well. But for those of us who like and need a wine bottle opener, that is one of these gifts that keeps on giving, folks. Okay, so we're going to add a cup of wine. No, sorry, we only need a quarter cup. That means we get to enjoy the rest of it tonight. So I'm going to add a quarter of a cup of white wine. And we are having it in the pan until it is absorbed. So we've got the rice kind of doing its thing here with the onions, the butter, the olive oil, and the seasonings. So while this is doing its thing here on the stovetop, I am going to take out the squash. and show you what I have done. Okay, let me just get that going there. Okay, let me just make sure I'm not missing a step. You all know I do that. The rice in the pan, a hot butter, yes. I should note as well that the reason you add the rice to the butter and olive oil is that it does give it a nice nutty flavor, and that's why you want the dry wine as well. It just enhances that seasoning as well. And again, if you want to omit the wine, that's fine. You can add a broth or even a sparkling cider will give it a neat, different flavor. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're starting the process of the flavoring of the rice now before we add it to the water. Okay. Add about a half of a cup of the broth to the saucepan to the rice mixture and stirring occasionally until the broth is absorbed. Okay, so what I am actually going to do is I'm going to give this another minute, and then I'm actually going to add the rice to the pan, and then because what you would do with risotto is it's all about the steaming and the rice with the moisture. The moisture with the rice is what is allowing the rice to cook at a certain pace. So I will add about half of a cup of the water to this, getting the process started, and then I'm going to add the remaining to the pot because I have used here our cast iron Dutch oven, which I absolutely adore. But what I love about our Dutch oven is the lid here. You can see these divots on the lid. That's actually creating the circulation for moisture to continue to be cooking in an all-around kind of process. When I do talk about our cast iron and I talk about our Dutch ovens, I actually talk about the fact that it's almost like having a convection oven because the moisture is circulating in itself. The divots help keep the moisture in and locked into whatever you're cooking, whether it be a rice like we are today, a soup, like I do beautiful soups in here. French onion soup is amazing in this, but have you done a roast in it? And again, the moisture is keeping itself and circulating all the time, just like a convection oven. Okay, so I'm going to pull out the butternut squash as we speak. I am going to put it down here so you guys can see it. Woo. While I make a mess, as we all know I do. And I'm just going to put our trivet down. This is our 3-piece trivet, so I really don't need all 3 pieces, but because they're nested together, I normally keep it together using my silicone gloves. And I'm just going to shut that oven off. So here is the butternut squash. Like, again, this kitchen smells divine. So we've got some beautiful squash that we're going to top our risotto off with. So this little bit of black that you see here, that's actually the seasoning that I added. That was the thyme and onion that came with our cards. And so it's not burnt, it's just, as my kids used to say, oh my God, it's burnt. It's really not burnt. It's actually just the seasoning. So I'm going to add, oh boy.
I got it.
Thank God Karen's here today. Charlotte's just not sure of all this chaos. So I'm adding a cup of the broth to the rice and the onions here, and we're just going to continue that cooking process. So I've added about a cup, and we're going to repeat. Oh my God, that's the other fire alarm that's happening at the other door. Oh yeah. We might need to open the other door there.
Okay.
And the fact that we've got the baby gate up, Charlotte can't get down. So this is going to continue to cook for about a half of an hour, 20 minutes to half an hour. So that's why I say I'm going to add the remaining now to the cast iron itself. And then I'm going to continue talking about a few other things. So you can see there, the moisture is filling itself in. I'm going to move this pot now onto here, and I'm going to add the rice, the remaining rice, to the cast iron. And again, I started off with talking about how much I love our stainless steel nonstick. You can see why I love our stainless steel nonstick. That there's nothing stuck to that, and I easily get to cook in there. So I've just turned the temperature up on to our liquid, and I'm just going to stir in the risotto with the liquid here and give it the time that it needs. Now I'm going to add the lid to that, and it's going to take in and around 20 more minutes to cook, okay? That's it. So if you've ever not tried, Uncle T says that's me, the alarm goes off. I know. You know what? In my opinion, good cooks have their alarms go off because that means there's so many things going on. So that's a sign of a good cook in my opinion. Thank God Karen is here and is able to shut them all off because good Lord, otherwise it would be once again chaos. Okay, so we're leaving the mixture in here with the remaining broth between 20 and 25 minutes. I'm going to say it's going to take about 20 minutes. Then I'm going to take it out of the bowl and I'm going to stir in sorry, I'm just reading what it's saying because it's saying to mash the squash. When the squash is done, set aside half for garnish and the remaining, okay, so I'm going to mash the squash. I've never made this recipe, guys, because remember, this is a new recipe for the taste buds. Okay, so when the squash is done, set aside half for garnish, add the remaining squash and the remaining half cup broth to a bowl and mash. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add it to the manual food processor. There's a bit of onion in the bottom of it. That's okay because it has it. So I'm going to take half of the broth out, which is fine. Maybe I should have read this ahead of time. So I'm going to add a half of a cup of the broth to this. There we go. I'm going to stir that anyhow. Oh, there. I guess I don't need this pot. Okay. I'm going to just keep stirring. You can see the rice is getting thicker as we speak. It smells so good. Okay, so I've got the half a cup of the liquid. I'm going to add some of the squash to this manual food processor. The other half I'm going to top on as garnish. Okay. All right. And add the lid. And all right, and we're going to mash it up. And then I'm going to add some cheese to that. So you can see there's the mash. And it's calling for some fresh Parmesan. Okay, again, PC, not Pampered Chef, but President's Choice. That other PC. I'm just going to open up my cheese here and stir the cheese and the mash into the skillet, top with the spinach, and cover. So this recipe, to finish it off, has fresh baby spinach and more shredded cheese. So I'm going to use my fine grater. You know, we have several graters that I feel are great. Get it? But I'm here all day, folks. So this is one of our graters. This is the newer one. This is the older version. I love them because even the feet of them have rubber grips so that when you do want to shred on, say even a tabletop, they're not going to move. What I absolutely love about our graters is they've got the new ones. You can see the new versus the old. They've got these little grippies here that actually grips a bowl. So when you're going over the pan or a bowl and you want to just get some fresh cheese in there, you're able to, and it's not going to be shaken all over itself. And these are just small things that you don't even think about, that just naturally you just take for granted. And then you try someone else's and you think, oh gosh, you know, Pampered Chef has really thought of everything that is very, very easy and convenient. So I'm going to add 1/4 cup of the shredded cheese to this mash mixture. And then the other 1/4 cup, that is, because it's asking for 1/2 cup of fresh Parmesan. The other 1/2 cup no, sorry, it's a total of a half a cup total. And then the other quarter of a cup is actually used for garnish when you serve it. Okay, so I'm just gonna shred this, and I'm gonna show you how fast and easy this is. You can see there how easy it was to shred that cheese. Fresh, delicious. What do I do with the lid now? Oh, for goodness sake. I'm just gonna mash all that together, and then I'm gonna add this to the pan as we speak. So there is the spinach with, it's not spinach. Here is the squash with a little bit of the mixture broth and some Parmesan cheese. And again, gonna add that to our pan. Risotto is one of those really easy things to make because it's cooking itself essentially. Okay, so I'm gonna just show you quickly. I'm gonna add the mash to it, and then I'm gonna show you what it looks like in this pan already. And then I'm just gonna let it sit and do its magic. And I'm just gonna add 2 ounces more, so another quarter of a cup of the Parmesan cheese, and anywhere between 5 to 6 ounces of fresh baby spinach, which I'm just gonna throw in just before we serve it, and then garnish with, like I said, the remaining cheese and the squash. So I'm just gonna show you here. This is a bit hot. I do have to say that our cast iron, the handles do get hot. So you can see there is still a little bit of moisture happening. Not too much. It is doing its thing. I honestly wish you guys had smell vision. Really simple recipe to make. Really great fall recipes. We are using everything that is in season right now. Squash being in season, garlic being in season, and listen, this is risotto season, like pasta. It's a really delicious, hearty thing to do. Now, I'm gonna let it do its own thing for another probably 10 more minutes. I will post on the VIP site a finished product. Again, those of you who are not on my VIP page, move on over there. It's called Aimee's VIPeeps, Movers and Bakers. Come on over. And I do want to show you here in the bowl, we are also going to be enjoying our Italian herb bread. So this is a packet from Pampered Chef. All I had to do was add the packet and 1 cup of water. I kneaded it for 30 seconds, and then I toss in the bowl, and I'm letting it rise for 1 hour. So that's just about ready for me to throw it into the oven, because it's been rising now for maybe about 45 minutes. So after, what I'm going to do is I am just going to put it into a 450-degree oven. Now I am going to cook it in my rock crock. However you want to cook bread, however you normally cook bread, do it, whether it be a stone or your mother or grandmother's favorite piece that she cooked, maybe even a Dutch oven that can go into the oven. A hint for bread is preheat your pan. So if you're going to use something like the rock crock, for example, or even a cast iron of any kind, preheat it while you preheat your oven. The warmer the pan, the better your bread cooks. I even put mine on parchment and it still cooks beautifully once the pan is hot. Another tip that I do use is I use a pan, a small shallow pan of hot water that I put in the oven. And again, the circulating steam is what gives the top of your bread that crunchy deliciousness. Really simple, small things that make the world of difference for anybody who does bake. And clearly I enjoy bread. Those are some of the hints and things that I've done. Now, before we leave, I do want to talk about some things that I would like to offer. I will be talking about it more in the VIP page. If you are in the Guildwood area or Toronto area, pop by this Sunday. We are having a Christmas market right in my backyard. We're actually doing it in the front yard, so it's in your backyard, but my front yard. And there are going to be 9 other vendors besides myself offering holiday gifts I will have things like this out there. I have some really cutesy Christmas stuff that you can grab for stocking stuffers or even gifts for teachers or coaches or any of those. One of the things that I am going to be offering is something called a subscription base for bread. So you would get in your subscription, you would get an Italian herb caramel latte. We've got one of my caramel latte breads, and then another one that we have is a beer batter bread. And so every month with your subscription, you would get the 3 packages, and they would be, if you're out of the Toronto area, delivered to your door. If you are in the Toronto area, they would be delivered to your door via me. And every single month, you would have these 3 breads to have throughout the month. So really cool idea, really different and unique thing to do that I am offering personally. And the reason I am is that I think the breads are amazing. And listen, so say you don't one month use the caramel latte bread, you've only used 2 out of the 3, and magically here it comes to your door again, the 3. And you're like, okay, now I've got 2 caramel lattes. Well, what a beautiful thing to do is to gift it. Gift it to a neighbor, gift it to a friend. Bake the loaf and give it to a friend. Listen, it's just a great and easy way, some deliciousness that comes to your door. You don't even have to think about it. It's at a really low price. I will be putting it onto my VIP page as well with my vanilla. And the vanilla sale that I have talked about, that is coming your way as well. I just quickly want to show you what is happening with our risotto. I'm going to turn it down a tiny bit because it's boiling. We don't need that. But let me just show you again how fast this risotto is coming together. The deliciousness, the ease of this. Check this out. Guys, it smells incredible. When it's done, I'm going to add the spinach. In the bowl, I'm going to garnish what's remaining of our squash. And I'm going to sprinkle some more delicious cheese. And I'm going to have maybe even a little piece of the Italian herb bread because I can. It's what's for dinner here at our house today. So I hope you have a beautiful Wednesday. Thank you all for popping on. Enjoy. If your weather is like mine, get out there and come back and have some delicious heartiness like our butternut squash risotto. See you all soon. And if you're not on the VIP page, pop on over.